the opening statement on stats of the team so far in camp. What was the questions?
We're in week 3 now? Going on week 3 right now. So the guys are kind of chopping at the bit to play a football game. It's getting a little chippy out there. They get tired of seeing each other. Been going at it for about 3 weeks now. So you want to see that with your football team. A little edge, offensively, defensively, special teams, and they're really competing at a high level. We still got a lot of evaluations going on for as positions on this football team with our coaching staff, and we're going to continue that. This is a big evaluation this week, and we'll probably be breaking camp towards the end of this week and getting ready for South Carolina State on next week, so I look forward to it.
I know that at your scrimmage, we found out that there were 3 quarterbacks that were standing to the top, so
yeah.
I just got to ask first, what have you just liked about those 3 in particular and kind of what they've shown you here?
All of them have the ability to make plays. All 3 do bring something a little different to the game, with Jason, Jacobian, and Zai, but all 3 have made plays. We're very talented at the receiver position, and we just ask that they go out there and, operate the offense the right way and give those guys a chance on the perimeter, and they've done that. Jason has been good at times, Jacobian has been good, and Zai has been good. So it's a good problem to have when you have 3 guys, still fighting for that position. And the one that shows leadership and the team rallies behind, that'll be the guy.
How have the wide receivers done, and any of the receivers done kind of, obviously you want them to perform well, and the quarterbacks are throwing to them too. So any of those guys, how have they been developing too?
Oh man, they've been phenomenal. They've been phenomenal. Isaiah Spencer has been a pleasant surprise. A local kid here from Madison Central has been, a pleasant surprise. But Rico Powers has been good. Rico Elliott played with me when I played, but Rico Powers has been good. A guy that returned from last year. Duke Miller has been a pleasant surprise, and Fabian. All those guys. It's quite a few in that room that's, going to be fighting for playing time on the field, and that's what you want at that position. But all are playing well, executing, making big plays. Rico made a big play today, went probably about 50, 60 yards out there in practice. So we're excited about him, and that's what we tell the quarterbacks. Don't go out there and try to put too much on your shoulders. Allow those guys around you to, go out there and make plays and do all the hard stuff.
Let me just ask real quick, why is Isaiah Spencer standing out to you?
He's shown the ability to make big plays. Anytime a freshman can come in early on and compete on the college level, you chose the right guy. He was a highly touted kid coming out of Madison Central this past year, and we was excited to get him in here. For him to be this far along, it's a pleasant surprise for the receiving core. And he competes. He competes on a day-to-day basis. He just blends in with those older guys and looks like he's ready to play right now.
Out of those 3 quarterbacks that you said that have made some plays, was there a performance between any of the 3 that really shocked you in a good way, that they've kind of shown more in their growth?
Yeah, all of them has been throwing the ball well. My biggest thing with all 3 is just don't turn it over. And at times we have turned the ball all over a couple times in camp. They corrected those mistakes and continue to play football. But all of them can throw the snot out of the ball. Every one of them I'm excited about. We'll continue to evaluate the position, and in the end we'll figure out who that guy is going to be.
Coach, on ones versus ones, who has the edge, offense, defense, or fluctuate?
Well, anytime, defense is going to always play it faster. The calls are a little more limited, what they have to do, so they're kind of ahead right now, playing with a lot of energy to me right now, flying around, making a lot of plays, and we got a lot of depth on that side. But it's been tick for tack, but I will get an edge to the defense right now because the offense, you got to think a little more, execute a little more, and, things come a little slower on the offensive side of the ball, things I've learned in my coaching career. So defense has the edge right now. And then they got quite a few guys on that side that returned from last year's team too. So they have the edge with the energy and the way they're executing right now as a unit.
Quarterback battles seem to be a theme across the state right now. Last week, Lane Kiffin said it was his own quarterback battle that since there's no preseason games or anything, it's really going to take time seeing those guys in game action to decide who's going to be the starter. Do you kind of feel the same way with your battle? No
doubt. I mean, I think that's the thing right now overall for our football team. We getting after each other. The energy level is high. They're doing everything we're asking them to do. But it's hard to gauge until you play against somebody you don't know, until you play against that opponent, which will be South Carolina State for us. But you just got to continue to evaluate those guys, hold them accountable. and just make sure they're ready day one. But, I think you hit it on the head. Till you play that first game and get out there against an opponent, some guys, some players, a coaching staff that you don't know, then you're able to get a real gauge on your football team where you're at that point.
Coach, can you talk about your relationship with Buddy Pugh, the friendship, and you guys go back from when you were at North Carolina Central?
I mean, you're talking about a legend that's been doing it for a long time. I think he's been at South Carolina State 20 plus years as a coach. A lot of winning, put a lot of guys in the NFL, but great football mind that's been doing it, overall 40 plus years. So we talked at the MEAC SWAC press conference, and anytime you can get around a coach like that with that kind of knowledge, you just try to pick their brain and, pick up some tidbits there, and hopefully you can, be coaching that long of a time. He asked me about that, talking about coaching 20 plus years in one spot, and I said basically, shoot, coach, if you getting that those kind of years in coaching, you had a lot of success. So I hope I could get half of that.
Coach, where would you, how would you gauge the play of the offensive line right now?
They're coming together. I think they're coming together. There's a lot of new faces up front. Evan Henry has been playing great football for us. The returning starter from last year. Kurt Ford has been pleasant. That was around here last year. There's quite a few new faces over there, but Coach O has been doing a great job. Coach Anye Buwaga, a guy that was with me at Central, he'll get it together. I trust in his coaching, his ability to put a group together on the field. We'll get the 5, 6, 7, 8 guys together in that group to go out there and protect whoever the quarterback is. And we've been preaching run the football. We've been doing a good job of running the football. So I have total confidence in them. Like Coach Bradley, our D-line coach, says all the time, big man lead the way.
Obviously, Jackson State, we talked a lot last year about how special teams just made significant differences in a lot of those closer games to have an undefeated season. Where would you say this year's unit for special teams is, kicking, things like that, after the success last year? Just what do you need to see from them to build up?
Just carry that consistency from last year. We still got a great kicker in here in Gerardo. Matt Knoll is an All-American punter that can really hit the ball, and we got some guys that can return the football. Seven McGee is going to be electric back there, punt returns and kickoff returns for us, and quite a few other guys. We talked about Isaiah Spencer. He'll have an opportunity to do some things back there. And then anytime you're deep as you are on the defensive side in the secondary, linebacker position, receiver room, that equates to great special teams play, I think. And my deal on special teams is just don't find ways to beat yourself. Protect the football, no block punts, make sure we're protecting, and doing things the right way, and no silly penalties out there on special teams.
They do it.
Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good, man. I got to get to work.
How y'all doing?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Really good.
Coordinator, linebackers coach Taquan Hammock,
What camera am I looking at? All of them?
right in the middle.
All right, go ahead.
When in doubt, look for the
Right?
tiger.
Okay. All right.
Tiger in your hand, look for
All
the
right.
tiger.
That'll
Right in
work.
the middle.
Yep.
All right, Coach. Just start just generally here. Haven't spoken with you yet this season. What have you seen with your guys developing so far in this camp, getting towards the first game in a few weeks?
Yeah, the guys are ready to go. We've been slowly, building it up, the expectations, and we understand that, at the end of the day, we have to come out with a final product. And so, we've been preparing as such, and so every single day, the guys are coming in to work, ready and eager to learn, but then also, too, learning from previous mistakes. That's been the goal whole camp is, we make a mistake, it's okay, but, don't make the same mistake twice and continue to perfect our craft.
Coach, who are some of the guys that caught your eye so far?
Defensively, linebacker-wise, there's a lot of guys that are standing out for me right now. We go ones and twos, and it's just kind of how it's structured, but, I really, truly feel that we have a group of ones that can play in this conference at any point in time, and I feel comfortable with having those guys in the field. But Isaac Peppers has been standing out to me, Javarian Jenkins, Alan Walker, and then Khalil KJ. Those four guys, feel really good about those guys. At any point in time, any combination of those four, really can start the game and execute at a high level.
What have you been impressed by them the most? Like, what have they done to impress you?
It's just their physicality, that mindset coming in and ready to work every single day. But then also, too, their leadership. You know, out of those 4 guys, 2 are, you know, seniors, you know, older guys that have played a lot of football in this conference. And, you know, their demand is very high for the rest of their unit. And, you know, everything starts with the linebackers as far as the vocal communication, the leadership, and they've shown that, you know, they can do that at a high level.
You know, you can't fully figure out everything that's going on until you actually play an opponent for the first time. Is there anything in particular that you think will become a little bit more clear after you get the first game done?
Yeah, you know, that first game is they have to gel, you know. They can't, the stadium and the platform can't be too big for them. You know, at the end of the day, they have to come ready to work. It's still the game that they've been playing since they were a little boy. So, you know, the only thing that's changed is they've gotten bigger, faster, and stronger. So, you know, don't let the scene get too big for you, and just go out and play and have fun, you know. And so that's really what I'll know after that first week. And everybody's different. They're going to prepare different. I prepared different as a player, you know, so I got to find that niche within the group, and make sure that they're ready to go, you know, make sure that they're ready to go and ready to play fast.
Obviously, there's no substitute for size sometimes. So what kind of skills have you noticed from the group in addition to their size that will make them, you know, as effective as you want them to be?
Yeah, you know, and really a lot of it is their film study and their preparation. They're going to understand what they're going to, you know, be faced with on a week-to-week basis because of how much time they put in the film room. They'll be able to line up, and the physicality and you know, running sideline to sideline. They're college football athletes, so you know they all have that skill set. But you know, what's going to set them apart is their film study and their preparation from week to week. They're calling out plays and calling out pullers and understanding what we're asking them to do defensively and within our system. So they're going to execute at a high level because they're going to know exactly what to do and when to be there. And then their athleticism is going to take over. So.
And do it. Coach Dicker.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Y'all doing all right? It's about time, and I've been waiting on y'all. Y'all seem like y'all want to talk about no big boys around here.
Co-offensive coordinator, offensive line coach Jason Onyapawadu. There'll be a pronunciation test after this.
All right, who's kicking this thing off?
Coach, who's impressed you the most?
Who's impressed me the most up front?
Yes.
You know, we've got some guys that were returning that got to play some ball last year. So, you know, been leaning on those guys to lead us here starting fall camp. I would say Evan Henry, he's playing center for us right now, and he's doing an unbelievable job up front, growing into a leadership role and just, you know, showing up every day, commanding the group, and making sure that we're doing the things up front for us to be successful.
Coach said philosophy around here is big guys set the tone. Can you talk about how you feel about that?
Oh, yeah. So it's funny, but me and Coach Bradley, D-line coach, we've worked together for a while now. And, you know, one of our biggest mottos is big men lead the way. So I think we're trying to establish that here. I don't know if that's been the motto here in the past, but, you know, Coach Taylor brought me here to make sure that was the way. Everything starts with for us up front. We have to be able to execute at a high level to make everybody else's job easier. So those are the things that we've been focused on to start fall camp here. One, building some camaraderie within the group, and then being able to go execute at a high level for as many plays as needed to sustain drives and score points and get us in the end zone.
The performance of the defensive line this fall camp has been talked about the most. And what is your assessment on how your offensive line unit's dealing with that? And what is that like practicing against those guys every single day?
Yeah, man, it's cliche, but, you know, iron sharpens iron. So, you know, the opportunity for us to go out there every day and fight against probably one of the better D-lines for sure in this conference and probably going to be one of the better ones in the country has been making us better. You know, again, the relationship that me and Coach Bradley have had over the years of just having O-line and D-lines going against each other, we knew the kind of product that we were going to get up front once we got the right guys and the right bodies in here. And now you're seeing those guys develop every day going to work. It's a different game in those trenches. So you got to come to work every day, and the guys that we're battling with are for sure going to be some of the better guys in our conference. So it is making us better. You're seeing guys step up, and you're starting to see guys take the coaching and the development and putting us in position to where we're going to have a pretty good group up front.
Coach, have you had any freshmen stand out?
Freshman-wise, it's tough on freshman O-linemen, man. They're kind of finding their way. There's been a few that have stood out. I don't want to give them too much love right now. But we got a group of young guys that's going to have an impact in the O-line position for years to come here. So we're excited about them. There's a few that have been doing a really good job, but I don't want to name drop anybody just yet. I want to see them keep working and see where we finish off.
You mentioned the camaraderie with a group of guys that has to kind of all work together. How important is them to be all on the same page?
That's everything. In any offensive line unit, you have to get 5 guys that can think alike and do it fast, especially in our offense. We're going to play with tempo. We're going to press the issue. So those guys got to be able to, I always say it, fix problems. You got to fix problems on the field at a high level. And the only way you do that is having trust in the guy next to you that he's thinking and on the same page as you. So those are the things that we've been looking to try to develop as we go here through fall camp. And you've seen the progression from spring, taking that hard work they put in the summer and now putting it in fall camp to where, we're mixing, matching some groups. I told them coming into camp, I'm looking for about 7 to 8 guys who can go out there and play at a high level for us. So we've been mixing, matching those guys up and just trying to kind of find what's the best fit for what we're looking for. And there's a lot of guys doing a really good job. But I think, these next couple of weeks, I think kind of honing in on, who those 7 and 8 guys are going to be and building that camaraderie together, that's going to be huge for us.
Coach, are they, at this point in the camp, are they ahead where they need to be? Are they right at it, in your opinion?
I would say we're right on pace. I think at the O-line position, it's easiest to say if you had a good day or you had a bad day. And I think we've had more good than bad, especially with the group of, again, a lot of new faces were brought in here kind of after the spring and through the summer. So, again, it takes time up front. But I would say to this point, man, we've done some really good things. You're starting to turn on the tape and you're seeing those guys take the coaching, do the things, not make the same mistakes. And it's coming together. We're right on pace. We'll be where we need to be August 26th.
Do it.
No quarterback questions?
How are they doing?
I would say that's actually a place where we got to continue to grow. I've been on him actually these last couple of days of just making sure that we do a good job protecting those guys because they're playing at a high level. I actually half the time I never know who's at quarterback anyways. I'm so locked into who's going on up front, and then you see a great ball come out, and I lean over and I ask Coach Billerman who threw that one. Because you're just trying to figure it out. So it doesn't matter who's back there playing the position for us. Like I said, they're all playing at a high level, but we have to continue to do a good job keeping them upright and keeping them comfortable in the pocket. All right. That's easy, man. That's it, man. That was an easy one. Okay, math. I'm okay in math. I'm all right, math.